Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for clicking the video. We are here with my boy Nick.
Hey guys.
And today, as promised, we are going to do a whole video on how to rebuild a carburetor. Exciting stuff.
You bet.
Alright guys, so we're getting right into it for you guys. Nick's gonna start taking apart the carburetor.
Putting these hoses over here. This is a breather tube. I mean, it's not a breather tube. It's just like if this thing overfills, your gas goes too high or something, it'll come out these holes on the top, and these tubes are just to make sure it doesn't just shoot out like a geyser. You know, it's directing it away from the carburetors. I'm taking those off just so they're out of the way.
Peep the Yamaha on the back.
You bet. This is where my gas tank hooks up to. It's just the fuel line right here. Hooks right here. I'm just taking that off, get it out of the way. Put it right over here with the other tubes. And boom, now we got nothing but pure carburetor right here. Now, I don't need to bench sync them. That's when, say I took the carburetors apart from one another. There's 4 here, I took them out. Say I took them apart. When I put them back together, they wouldn't be synced up anymore with the throttle. Can I move this with my hand? Yeah, okay, see how that opens and shuts? If I took them apart, they wouldn't all be in sync anymore. And a bench sync is when you take like a needle or something and stick it in there, and then you adjust the screws right here on each one. There's only 3 that have them because the 4th one you just adjust with the idler. You adjust all 3 to the first one, and then you adjust your idle. I'm not going to take them apart, so I don't need to bench sync them because they're not going to come out of sync. That's the gist of what I'm saying.
So you guys are doing this at home. There you go. We saved you time and energy. You're welcome. Thank us later. So as you guys know, in the last video, we got Nick's bike running. If you didn't check out that video, it is a crazy video. Super funny, super entertaining. So make sure you go and check that video out. There'll also be a thing right about there where you can click and go back to
wait. So we're going to take this fully apart. Well, I mean, we're not going to separate them, but last time when I cleaned it, I just took the bowls off and sprayed in the jets. But now I'm going to take the bowl and then the, I can't think of the word, but the top off.
And if you didn't watch the last video, the most important thing to use when messing with anything mechanic is having a impact screwdriver. If you guys don't have one, you need to get one. There'll be a link in the description below to get your own. They're super cheap. I think the link in the description is going to say like 12 bucks plus shipping. It's super worth it. So
100%.
Peep that out in the comment section below.
Because otherwise you're going to strip all these float bowl screws, and it's really not fun to deal with. I wonder if these are loose enough. Can I get it? Nope.
Also, side note, we didn't mention this. Whenever you're messing with a carburetor, do not do it on the bike. Do not do it. Do it somewhere where you have a table so you don't lose anything and everything is there for you.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Having it set out on a table like this. I can't get this out. I hate this thing just because the way they set it in here. But if I put them upside down so I could get them out easier,
they all fall.
Well, I mean, like, if I put these the other way, like, I could put them that way, but then I don't know which one's which.
Yeah, and then you have to get them all out anyway.
All right. Now let me put these all back in there, because organization is the key to a happy job.
This is premium content, boys and girls. You don't get this on every channel. This is special to Roger's Adventures.
All right, this is the one I want.
I was going to say, that would be hilarious if you ended up putting it back.
I would be ticked at myself, dude. Like, seems like something dumb I would do. So I'm going to hammer the bit in a little bit. Just to give it a seat. I'm going to adjust this to make sure it's in the loosening setting. And now we just, and boom, it comes out easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
And let me give it a little bit more hit. I'm just gonna loosen them first. Another motorcycle driving by.
Tis the season. It's nice outside. Everybody's riding.
You bet.
Peep Nick's great leather vest there. Top notch. Looks good.
Fox Creek Leather.
Fox
But
Creek
they're not
Leather.
sponsoring me, so I'm not gonna say their name again.
But if you would like to sponsor,
Yeah.
let us
If you're
know.
watching Fox Creek Leather, please send me free stuff. I already bought one of your jackets and one of your vests, and they're really expensive, but they're really good quality. They're worth it.
That goes for anybody. If anybody wants to be a sponsor, hit us up.
All right, so I'm gonna take all the float bowl screws. I'm gonna set them right here, and then when I get the float off, they're all going back in the float. Just so you can keep track and not lose anything. So this is holding a bracket. You gotta remember that this screw is holding on this bracket. All it's doing is holding on the idle adjuster there. So I'm gonna keep this, I mean, it doesn't matter what screw goes in there, but I'm just gonna keep a screw in there. We just gotta remember that it goes on the corner here. We're only taking one off at a time, so it's not like we have to be super mindful of what goes where, because we're not gonna forget. Whoop. And now, this should come right off.
You still have one more screw.
Yeah, no, that's that. I was just trying to show that it wouldn't come off if you don't have all the screws off. Now you just always want to be careful not to drop your screws. So I usually just do it by hand for the last couple turns. And whoop, just like that, it's off. Always check your O-rings, make sure there's no cracks, no flat pieces. I actually ordered 4 new O-rings, so I'm not going to worry about it too much right now because I'm just going to replace them. Now you can order a carburetor rebuild kit. They usually come with jets. They come with a new float valve, which is the thing under the float there. I'll take it out piece by piece and tell you. They're usually expensive. I usually just order the O-rings myself and replace them because you don't really need to replace anything else. Everything else is solid metal, whereas the O-rings are not, and they usually go bad. Now, a good rule of thumb is if your float doesn't stick, if it pops right off, then your O-ring's probably going to be fine. But if it sticks, that means part of the O-ring probably got ripped off. So this is your float valve. Basically, as the gas fills up, the float will float up, just like the name implies, and it will push this in and stop the flow of gas when it gets to the proper height. But that's why you can adjust this so that you only have the right amount of gas coming in. I actually need one more of these. Okay. So now I'm gonna take my jets out. Make sure it's in the loosening. I'm not gonna use the impact on this. I'm just using this one because it's the right size. See, they just unscrew. You don't ever have to put them in too tight. This is my main jet. I mean, as the name implies, it's the main jet. When I have full throttle or, you know, half throttle, this is where the main source of gas is coming through. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little peek through. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's hard to tell, but you can see the hole in there. These are big jets. I mean, this one's pretty clean because I did clean them recently. I'm just taking the carburetor apart more than I usually do. But I'll spray it out a little bit. Spray it out. Use my compressed air here. Blow it out a little bit. We're Gucci go. Now, I'll put the main jet right here. We don't want to lose it. And you don't want to mix up your main jet and your pilot jet. All right, so now we're gonna get the pilot jet out. That one's recessed down in this hole. So I have this little tiny screwdriver. You go in there, you just turn it a little bit. And then you gotta be really careful, but you just kind of turn it upside down and shake it out.
And don't lose it.
Yeah, don't lose it. I mean, you can order new ones, but see, if you look in this pilot jet, you can't even see through it. There's literally no light. Wow, that's actually really bad. Holy cow. Why is it so bad? It's worse than I thought it would be, but hey, watch what happens when we spray it out. Always look away, because like you don't want to get this stuff in your eyeball. I'll go through the other way too. For dexterity. I know that's not the right word, but it sounds cool. Spray it out a little bit. Hold it tight, because you don't want to blow it out of your fingers. Now let's look through it. Oh yeah, see, I mean, this one's small by nature, but you can see a lot more light through this one. Maybe you can see it in the camera, but
I don't think the camera's gonna pick it up. No, the camera can't pick it up.
All right, well, I can definitely see through it now. I could not see through it before.
Just take our word for it.
That was really bad. That was actually a lot worse than I thought it would be. Holy cow. So there's little caps here. The United States versions of this bike, they put, on every bike almost, they put caps on the air fuel screw mixture because they don't want you to mess with it because they tune it from the shop and then seal it. Mine have clearly never been drilled out. It looks like somebody tried drilling out the end one, but then they never pulled the cap off for some reason. So it makes me wonder if they adjusted this one somehow, because it's hard to tell, but nah, it doesn't look like they drilled it all the way. So obviously somebody put bigger jets in this and never tuned it properly, so I'm not going to do that today because I don't want to, because it's a lot more work than it looks, but it doesn't matter. So now we are going to take the I don't know what it's called. I'll just call it the secondary main jet. It's just down in there. This is where the main jet sits in. Take this out. It is just using a what does that say?
A very small
5/16. Sorry, I'm colorblind. Sometimes it's hard for me to read reflective surfaces. We're using a 5/16 to get this out. See, it just pulls out. I could be wrong, but I think there's a... Well, you can see the needle in there from the other side. Let me just make sure. Okay, I just want to make sure there's nothing in there. No, sometimes they have like springs and stuff on this side, but mine's on the other side. I'll show you that. We just take the cap off and we take the needle out. We'll look through that, just make sure there's no built-up gunk. I'll spray this out. Look away, because I don't want to freaking get this in my eyeball. I've done it before. Does not feel good. It feels like a burning sensation. Blow it out. Blow it out the other way just for dexterity. Boom.
It's all about dexterity, guys.
And see, some people will take the carbs apart from each other, but you don't have to do that to clean the carbs. Why people do that, I don't know.
Leave it down. If you know why, leave it down in the comments. Tell us.
Some people, well, like on my Yamaha, I meant to say, my main jet and my pilot jet and my secondary main jet are all like the same shape and size. Like they look all like that. So I almost mixed them up, but luckily the pilot jet in this one is a lot different of a shape. So no chance in us messing it up, but I'm still going to screw this in here just to not forget about it.
For dexterity, guys.
For dexterity. And now I will flip this over. We will take the cap off. I might need to use the impact for this, but we'll see if we don't have to. Maybe not. Look at that.
But it's always good to have an impact screwdriver in case you can't, so you don't strip it.
100%.
There'll be a link down in the description below. And guys, don't forget, if you guys like this content and you like supporting me and Nick, make sure to hit that like button for YouTube so that way more people can see the video and more people get exposed to the video. It just helps us out greatly. And make sure to like and comment and subscribe. Hit that bell to get the notifications when we upload.
Alright, so we're going to take these screws out. I'm going to set these over here. We're going to keep the top and the bottom parts of this carburetor separated. We don't want to risk mixing anything up. between one another. Gonna take these out. You gotta remember they have, well, mine have washers on them, so I have to remember that. And this is also spring loaded. It's gonna have a spring. That's why I'm holding the cap down right now. Because as soon as if I wasn't holding this down and unscrewed it, the unsuspecting person will have this cap fly off because there's a spring under it.
So don't be that that person. Yeah, don't be that person. Nick's using big words on me here.
So there's our spring.
Look at that spring. That's a nice spring.
This will pull right out of there. Now, I might spray this out, but I'm not. I could turn this upside down and take it out. I'm going to not do that because I don't need to. I will spray the pieces. This doesn't help much. I'm just making sure there's just, no gunk. Gunk can get anywhere, especially when your bowl's overfilled like mine did because there's a hole in the float. But see this, if you do want to see, this needle will come right up out of there. I'm just not going to do that.
So be careful.
So yeah, if you turn it upside down, the needle will come out. Now, I would have my service manual out here watching it, but I have already looked at the schematic of the carburetor like for a very, very long time, just so I know it inside and out. It's a good idea. So I'm just inspecting it, making sure there's no grub, no grime. This also serves as like a gasket. So inspect this, make sure there's no cracks, no tears.
No holes.
Now, let me see. I'm trying to find that, trying to figure out what I did with that wire brush.
And congratulations, guys. If you have made it this far, you have actually took apart your carburetor. So congratulations. Good luck getting it back together.
This is probably the hardest thing you can do on your bike. For real. Hold on. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm just cleaning up the mating surface now. You can see it has like a bunch of built up grime because apparently nobody's ever done this in the time between me having the bike and everybody else having the bike. Make sure you close your eyeballs, look away.
And if you guys are wondering why we keep cutting in and out, it's because me and Nick didn't realize that we needed all the tools we needed. So we have to keep stopping the video and going and get the tools.
Yep. I had to get this wire brush out of my car. It's super big though, so it's probably not going to work super well, but just going to clean up the main surface a little bit with some of these tines.
But learn from us. So when you do this, make sure you have all your tools. You're going to need a couple of screwdrivers, different sizes. You're going to need at least a 5/16 wrench. You're going to need a hammer, your impact screwdriver, which a link will be down in the description below for that. And a wire brush. Some WD-40.
Well, actually, this is WD-40 brand carburetor cleaner.
Exactly. We're not sponsored, but could be.
I like this brand. I think it works better, but well, I mean, not this brand specifically, but just this brand of carb cleaner. I think it works better.
And then you also, the air compressor is optional. You don't need it, but it does help if you have one.
Oh yeah. If you don't have that, you can use cans of compressed air. They sell those at anywhere.
So, learn from our mistakes so that way if you try to make a video, you're not stopping and pausing all the time. But it's okay because we're newbies.
Haters will say it's faked.
Yeah, haters will say somebody else did it for us.
Some people wear safety glasses, but we're not safe, apparently.
Oh shit, don't find us.
Well, we're not a workplace, so I think we're good. So, it's not perfect, because if I had a smaller wire brush, I could get in there better, but it's a lot better than it was before.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to clean up the bowl and everything too. It's just my customary rule to clean up everything before you put it back together. So now that everything's apart and all the passageways are opened up. Oh, it's right there. I was like, where'd my wire brush go? I'm going to scrape off this one too.
Now comes the hard part, putting it all back together without any extra pieces.
Well, actually, I'm going to spray out everything first.
That's what I meant.
Sorry, I always get in the mode of cleaning and I'm like, gotta stop.
Mr. Clean.
Yeah, you know, right?
You know, a sponsor to sing.
This wire brush is really big. All right, so now what we do, spray all up in there.
Should look like a volcano.
For real though, like you just want to. There's no such thing as too little. There's holes down here. Spray up all in there. Get up in here. There's these passageways right here. I'm gonna turn it over here so I don't spray myself or spray the cameraman. Let's get. Well, I already sprayed that. There's one more passageway here. I'm gonna spray in there. Right up in here. I mean, honestly, I don't know if half these are passageways or not. Just it doesn't hurt to spray everything, you know.
If it looks like a hole, you gotta spray it.
Yeah, just literally spray anything, even if you're not sure. Because like I said, it doesn't hurt. Nothing will hurt. Carb cleaner, it's literally meant to be sprayed all up in this business.
What will hurt is not putting enough in.
Exactly. If you don't do a thorough job, it's not going to be worth it.
I mean, you came this far. You might as well get the job done and get it done right so you don't have to do it again.
We got a big old wasp.
Shout out to the wasp.
Shout out.
Shout out to Zach's Race for commenting in every video so far. Shout out to you.
Yo, shout out to me. Shout out to Roger. How about that?
Yeah, shout out to pretty much. Yeah, just shout out to you. If you're watching this, shout out to you. You're doing a great job.
You know what? Just if you're watching this, just shout right now. Just shout.
Yeah, yell at the top of your lungs right now. Do it. You didn't do it. Do it right now.
I'm telling you, Mom, you yelled. So you know, I sprayed it all up in there. We'll take a compressed air. We'll spray the heck out of it.
Oh, geez.
This has like 120 psi of force right now.
That's scary.
I'm still looking away because like I don't want to get any gunk. Take caution not to blow all your stuff off the table, you know? If you're going to blow that way, then...
What is going on, everybody? So that was the video. After you do that last step, all you need to do is just put everything back together. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry that the video was a little postponed. It's been crazy hectic. Got some more stuff planned. But anyway, hope you liked the video.